Hello everybody, and welcome back to more Division stuff. This time, we're going to talk about Endgame. I said I would make a video on the Endgame and the first Incursion release, so it's like the perfect time to do it. In fact, it's what I've been waiting for to make this video, because this content update, which is free, by the way, is going to be the thing that sculpts and molds what the Endgame will be from here on. So, if you don't know, the Incursion is basically a raid, and in this case, the Falcon Lost one it's a one boss raid. Think like Magtheridon or Onyxia in WoW. In fact, those are pretty good relative bosses to show, because in reality, this actually reminds me a lot of those days in WoW, which isn't always a good thing, but it is really fun. So this boss is super difficult. It's a single APC in a room. You got to get to the room first, but it's a single APC. You fight off 15 waves. After a certain amount of waves, a bomb will come on like one of the enemies. You have to kill the enemy. You go pick up the bomb. You run over to the APC. You plant the bomb, which is a little bit more difficult because there's 2 turrets that you have to turn off in order to plant the bomb, or you could just be really rad and tank them, depending on what abilities you're using. Either way, it's a repetitive boss. It's one of those bosses where it's rinse and repeat. You handle a set of waves, you pick up the bomb, you run over to the APC, you turn off the turret, you plant the bomb, you run and hide in what has been commonly known in all of my groups as the pit. Then you repeat it. The waves do change, and it's really important to actually start remembering and memorizing the pattern of the waves. Like, the first wave is a lot of shotgunners, and they rush you as soon as you get into the room. By the way, don't stay up on the top when you first come in, because it's impossible. It's literally impossible to do anything from up there. So you have shotgunners, then you have grenaders, like a huge group of people with just grenades that come, and it's better to pick them off early rather than let them spread out. Otherwise, you're just gonna be dealing with grenades all day. Then after that, I'm pretty sure you have drones. The drones come, which are a new kind of enemy. They float down. There's 2 types of drones. There's like the red drone, which will do damage to you. It's not a lot of damage, but it can stack up pretty quickly. And the annoying thing is they'll get behind your cover because they can float over you. And then the blue drones will stun you, and allow the red drones just to sit there and shoot at you. And any enemy that honestly can see you will just start picking you off once you're stunned. It's actually really quite annoying. Then, after that, you have, I think, the first boss wave. The first wave with the bomb, and then you get the bomb, you take it over. And then after that, you got, like, after the drones, you have, like, shotgunners that come from behind. So you have to, keep that in mind. So, like, if you do this going in blind, you're probably going to wipe to that, like, the first time, because it's all of a sudden people behind you. And it's really annoying. Not to mention, all these waves are going on, and they have, like, even more crazy, like, groups of enemies that come later. You get, like, the medics and the engineers and everything. But while this is all happening, the APC is dropping, like, bombs. And you'll see, like, these big red circles that come down. And it blows up at first, and I didn't learn this until later, but then there's, like, a fire effect on the ground afterwards. So you can wait for it to blow up and then try to get in, like, back to where you were. But if you do it immediately, you're going to get set on fire and, like, lose 90% of your health. It's really annoying. So, like, this is just one whole complex boss fight. The most annoying thing is when you die, it resets. It goes back to wave 1. So, learning it is pretty important. But that's why I said it reminds me of the old WoW days. And I'll get to that in a minute. But once you see that the APC is dropping, or that you've put the bomb on and it shoots missiles out, shoots a volley of missiles, the best place to go is in that pit. It's like right in the middle, it's underground. There's not only 2 boxes of ammo there, which is really, really, really helpful, and they refresh each time you plant a bomb, but there's also cover from all of the missiles. So you could just sit down there and not really have to move much at all. You just have to watch out for some enemies that might spawn, but you don't really have to move down there. You just kind of wait for that missile wave to be done. When the missile wave is done, anybody who is, like, dead gets revived, so you don't actually have to go get them, which is super, super convenient. Like that a lot. So why does this remind me of the WoW days? Well, back with, Onyxia is the best example, and then you have Magtheridon. These were bosses when they first came out. They were quite difficult, and not a lot of people could do them. And you had the small group of people, at least on my server, who knew how to do it. Like, oh, they've done it once or twice with a really good group. Now they know how to do it. So then they start teaching people. And you have that, like, pay it forward knowledge, where it's a small group of people teaching another small group of people, and then that small group of people learns it and goes teaches another. And that's kind of what this experience has been. It's actually really fun because you're learning something very difficult and very challenging. And this is only on hard mode. This has an entire other difficulty mode that I haven't even talked about. So you have hard, which is like your typical end game. You're going to go do like a story mission. Again, you do it on hard. You don't necessarily get like all this really good gear from it, but you do it on hard. Then there's challenging, which gives the way better gear. And we haven't even done it on challenging yet. And I'm doing it with a pug. I just like, I can't fathom how much more difficult it's going to be. But, having the new gear that comes out of this is going to be really important. And I'll talk about the set gear in a moment. But yeah, just that whole like concept of you're constantly having to learn it, like learn a new fight that might come out, and then teach it to people and move on and maybe learn different strategies. And like, oh, in a couple weeks, you thought that this strategy was really good, but turns out someone found this really cool way of, getting the attention of the turrets and not having to turn them off or something like that. It's going to be weird stuff like that that makes this really fun and dynamic. But it's not without its problems. The biggest problem to me is that it takes too long, and that when you die, it resets back to the start. And that wouldn't be such a problem if it wasn't 15 waves that you're having to do. Like, on average, a normal group at this time of the launch of it will take about, if they went through and they didn't die, it'd take about 45 minutes on average to finish this. And I get that, but at the same time, WoW was best for me. Raiding was best for me in the days where it was best for me when you just kind of finished the things within a couple hours. I know that sounds like it's really bad, but it's not. Like, you would go in with your group, you all knew how to do it, and you would execute it flawlessly, and you would finish like 2 raids in 2 hours, or 1 big raid in an hour, and then you were done for the week. And it felt really good. It felt good to be that efficient. That's when WoW was really fun to me, and this is not going to be an exception here. I think that once more Incursions release, which there's already one at the top of the map, it's like, hey, this is coming out, then we're going to want to be able to finish all of them within like an hour. I know that that's not like an expectation that I can set upon Massive to be like, hey, this is how this should be. But 45 minutes for a single one of these is fairly difficult, though that will change when we get more gear. Same thing with Onyxia and Magtheridon back in the day. It would take a long time because you kept wiping or you didn't quite have the DPS. Once you get the gear, you could blast it down in a couple minutes. Might still be the same case. So the gear that got added in this patch is the set gear. They also rebalanced like some of the drops from normal challenge modes or stuff like that, and just named enemies in general. So you're going to be getting a lot better gear in general. But for the most part, the hotness in this patch are the set pieces. So they added 3 sets. I don't remember all the names. There's like strikers and sentries, and then something else. I don't remember the other one. So those are like the 3 PvE sets, and then there's a 4th Dark Zone set. Off of the normal Phoenix cred vendor, you can buy 2 of the patterns for one of those sets. All 3 of them basically for the PvE stuff, and then the PvP stuff, you get that out of the Dark Zone, obviously. And, oh, by the way, they changed the way the Dark Zone levels give you gear. It's like level 15, you start getting gear, then level 20, and then like 25 and 30 or something like that. So it's more balanced as far as you're not getting to level 50 Dark Zone just to get an item that you no longer need, because now you're Dark Zone 50 and you've already gotten the gear that's way better than that. But with the PvE stuff, you're just spending Phoenix creds to get it. It's pretty cool. The set bonuses are really nice. it actually reminds me of Diablo in the, the sets for that. They're not quite as powerful yet, but I think they might go that direction, because it's a really fun direction to go as far as like set pieces where you can like make a build out of it, like a sentry build, in fact, I think it's called the oh gosh, now I don't remember the name of it. It's the one that I'm going for. It's basically headshot damage, increases damage on the target by 15%, and stacks up to 3 times. So you get 45% additional headshot damage if you just shoot people in the head. It's pretty good. And that goes for the entire group if I recall correctly. So you gain, you basically put a 45% debuff on a target by shooting them in the head 3 times for your group. Which, like I said, is really cool. And for a first set, that's not too bad. I like that a lot. And then the set itself has like headshot damage and whatnot on it, so it's got a theme. I like it. It's going in a good direction. But this Incursion has a guaranteed drop of a set piece if you can finish it. I'm not sure what the challenge mode is because I haven't looked, actually, to be completely honest. I'm pretty sure it might be like a better version of the set piece. I guess we'll find out. Either way, I'm looking forward to more Incursions. This is definitely going to shape the way that this end game works, and I'm really looking forward to it. And we'll see what they come out with later on. If they, when they add more Incursions and stuff, I'll do a video on it, because The Division is a game that is quite fascinating to me. But with that being said, we shall see you guys next time.